On Wednesday night, the Gonzaga Bulldogs invited the Huskies to the kennel for the first time in 10 years. The Zags bullied, ran, and dominated the Huskies en route to a 98-71 win. Tonight, the Zags look to go to 10-0 for the first time since 1958. It's Gonzaga basketball. It's next. And happy holidays to all, and that great blanket of white extending across the entire Pacific Northwest makes things feel much more festive. And inside the McCarthy Athletic Center, well, things are in a froth, ladies and gentlemen. The Zags with an opportunity to make history tonight with their first 10-0 start since 1958. It's great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, and Richard Fox. And gentlemen, it was, I don't know, a week or two ago that Dan Dickow said in this very chair that the Zags had a chance to be unbeaten going into league. And Richard,
he might have been right.
It's setting up, isn't it?
He might have been right. It's really been impressive what this GU team has done. Everybody that's been laid out in front of them, they found a way to beat them. They played in a variety of different ways. This past weekend against Arizona, just dominated a very talented Wildcat team. And then on Wednesday night, same story against the Huskies out of Seattle.
Yeah, Gonzaga has won in many different ways, but I think the thing that was most impressive in the rout of the Huskies the other night is the fact they did it from opening tip to final buzzer in a 98-71 win. They got production in meaningful minutes from literally everyone in the rotation. Shemek Karnowski leading the way with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and the UW transferred Nigel Williams-Goss chipped in 23, 5, and 5. Gonzaga is seemingly clicking on all cylinders, but I tell you one thing though tonight, fellas, Gonzaga has a big challenge ahead of them here tonight.
Yeah, hold the brakes, ladies and gentlemen. The Akron Zips out of the Mid-American Athletic Conference, they're good. Yeah. And they're good down low.
Really good. 20-plus wins over the last 11 seasons. If you ask the staff, this might be the best test of the week. And it really starts inside with Isaiah Johnson. Might be the best frontline player this team has Gonzaga's played all year. Last year, first team All-MAC. Came off the bench during non-conference. He's a big-time scorer. Already in 8 of the 9 games the Zips have played. He's been in double digits, and he shoots better than 70% from the field. When he gets positioned, a lot like Shemek Karnowski for Gonzaga, he's a load once he gets the ball inside.
He leads Akron down low, but this team can really shoot the three as well. It's a dangerous game tonight at the McCarthy Athletic Center for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They're unbeaten, but will they remain that way? Tonight's starting lineups and the tip-off when we come back. Welcome back to the snowy McCarthy Athletic Center. Time now for Gonzaga and Akron. We're just a moment away now from the opening tip. Zag fans ready to go. Time for tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card only at Numerica. And for the Zips, Jamon Ivey, Antino Jackson, Noah Robotham, Juan Cheatham, and Isaiah Johnson, who we highlighted in the open. But this team loves to shoot the outside shot, kind of an inside-out team, and their head coach, a good one. Keith Dambrot, now in his 13th season, but has won at least 20 games for the last 11 seasons. Won the regular season a year ago inside the Mid-American Athletic Conference. This is a good program, and it's been that way for a long time now. The starting lineup for Gonzaga looks like this. Jordan Matthews, Nigel Williams-Goss, Josh Perkins, the guards, along with Jonathan Williams, and the ever-present, at least this year, Shemek Karnowski, patrolling that 5 position for head coach Mark Few. Guys, before the season started, you looked at this week. Arizona, UW, Akron. This was an important kind of tempo-setting week.
Yeah, it's not a brand name here on the West Coast, but this is a grit test for you at home in December. Gonzaga's going to learn a lot about themselves here tonight.
And time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
Gonzaga must defend the three tonight. Akron, number 9 in three-pointers made in the country. Gonzaga must run them off the three-point line.
Yeah, you know, Greg, Gonzaga's got to get back to shoring up the defensive glass. They're giving up nearly 14 a game. They gave up 27 against UW earlier in the week. Akron gets over 10 a game, so they don't want to give up easy baskets to Akron off the offensive glass.
Gonzaga force Akron into tough shots on the season. Akron shoots close to 50% field goal from the field. Gonzaga must play good scouting report defense.
Yeah, Mark Few really tried to hit that home today at shoot-around where he told the team, look, they're good offensively. They're going to score. Let's just make sure we make it hard on them. Gonzaga with the opening possession, and there's our first turnover. It'll be Akron Zip basketball.
And you'll see on the offensive end, Akron really trying to establish Isaiah Johnson early on that left block. Shemek Karnowski likes it on the right block. Johnson likes it on the left block. You're going to get a lot of weak side action to create multiple actions defenses must guard.
Williams out. Not a lot of movement right now by this Akron offense, and so Cheatham settles for a fall-away jump shot. And it's poked out of bounds into the corner. It'll be Gonzaga ball.
If you're the Zips, you don't mind that possession, Greg. You force Gonzaga to guard deeper into the shot clock. You end up getting a good look for Cheatham, who's a skilled big there on the right block. You don't come up with the basket, but you force Gonzaga to guard. I think too often teams get caught playing quickly against the Zags, and that opens up a lot of opportunities for the Bulldogs in transition. Akron wants to avoid that here tonight.
Cheatham averages 9 points and 7 rebounds a game for Akron. Williams Goss. Here's Karnowski. Try to back his way in. Left-hand jump hook off. Rebounded by Cheatham. He was there defensively as well.
And a great early rotation by Cheatham on the weak side.
And our first bucket is buried by Antono Jackson. And Akron leads 2-zip. Williams Goss drives, lost the handle. Cheatham with it. And now Jackson on the move for Akron. Transition 3 on the way. That's way off by Robotham.
And Akron will look to get threes in transition. They like to push it off of defensive stops. As Perkins misses the 3 in transition for Gonzaga. A great time to get a 3 is either in transition or off an offensive rebound. Akron does a great job in both those areas trying to look for the 3 ball.
Here's our first look at Johnson. Karnowski bangs him. Spin, baseline, falls into the middle, missed the shot, got it back. Left-hand shot up is good, but is no good. He draws the foul and will shoot free throws.
But you see early on, they want to go to Isaiah Johnson on that left block. Little horn set to a reversal pass to a dump down, but you see the nimbleness by the big fella on the interior. Gonzaga's going to have to do a better job of pushing him off the block than they have these first few possessions.
You know, Johnson may not look it at 6'10", 290. He's got soft hands, good feet, and it'll be interesting tonight. He's used to being doubled. He leads this Akron team with nearly 3 assists a game. Gonzaga's not going to double him, particularly when Karnowski's matched up with him. It'll be interesting to see what kind of work he can do on the low block one-on-one.
He's a 60% free throw shooter. Hits 1 of 2 there. Karnowski now right back at Johnson. Left-hand shot up and good. Karnowski 1 of 2.
If you're an old school fan, you're going to love tonight. You're going to love tonight. A lot of low touches on the low block, one-on-one basketball. You don't see that nearly as much anymore with where the game has gone.
Here's Cheatham. 10 on the shot clock. Jackson. That's a deep 3 that is off. And J3 with the rebound. Gonzaga gave up a lot of offensive rebounds to Washington the other night. In fact, their most since the 02-03 season. And there's Karnowski with 2 more.
And good recognition. He took 1 dribble at Johnson, and Johnson's got enough size and strength where Shemek's not going to have the same advantage physically. He can't simply just back him down, get to a spot right there. That's a nice counter. Took the long step to the middle, got off the jump hook, used his length.
Again, 10 on the shot clock for Akron. This is Jackson. Tough pass by for Johnson to handle, but he does. Shot away, no good. He bulled Karnowski out of the way and got his own putback.
There are not many players at the college level that can bull Karnowski out of the way, but these two big fellas are going at it early, 3.5 minutes in.
Karnowski left it for Williams-Goss. That's beautiful offense.
Oh, just the recognition. Recognizes Nigel Williams on a little back cut there, little drop pass, nice finish.
Look, you're not going to find 5 men that pass the ball better than Johnson and Karnowski. Johnson leads his team in assists, and Karnowski's getting you 2 a game. You saw it right there. That's what makes it so difficult to double each one.
And Johnson again with it, but I can tell he's already tired. He ran down the floor, and right away his hands went to his knees. That shot way off from the corner by Ivey. And now in transition, Ivey got back defensively, deflected it out of bounds, but we've got a good one to start in Spokane. 15:43 to play. Shemek Karnowski. Nifty little move in the finish with the left hand. But Akron, they've got their own big-time player inside in Isaiah Johnson. 6-5 our score. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Northern Quest is your ultimate destination for fun. Experience true Vegas-style gaming, stay in a luxurious hotel, see a spectacular show, and eat in the finest restaurants all under one roof. Visit northernquest.com today to learn more. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 8, Gonzaga with an early 6-5 lead against Akron. Guys, the other night against Washington, Gonzaga gave up 28 offensive rebounds to the Huskies. They've already given up 2, and Akron has 3 second-chance points out of it. It's a problem.
And that's not normal for Gonzaga. Normally, Coach Few wants to be plus 10 rebound differential. That has not been the case early in this season, but going back to that graphic, these two teams met a number of years ago in the NCAA tournament. Josh Heidfeld had a heck of a game that evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, and Akron was good then. I mean, again, 20 wins over 11 seasons. It's an enormous number.
I called that game in the Rose Garden on the radio, and that was a really good game for about 30 minutes, and then Gonzaga just pulled away down the stretch as Shemek gets his own offensive rebound and gets fouled. My kind of game, Greg.
Yes, it is, Richard.
Viewers out there don't get the ability to see the smile on our broadcast partner's face tonight, lighting up with the fact that the two big fellas are going after it tonight.
No apologies. No apologies.
It should just be half court, right? You make it, we'll take it at the half court.
I don't think either kid's going to play over 25 tonight, that's for sure. But the threes will be coming, I'm sure.
Shem now with 5 points, couple of rebounds, 6 points, shooting 50% from the free throw line. He is what he is, right, at this point in time in his career.
He is, but he gives you so many other positives that you're willing to live with it, work around it, but you just got to manage it in crunch time.
And he's the best at pinning fouls on the opposing team. Shot from the corner is up. Cheatham with the offensive rebound, another one for Akron.
Well, when Gonzaga goes that three-quarter court trap and falls into a zone, many times the problem can be rebounding. That time it popped its ugly head one more time.
And Killian Tilly, number 33 on the floor for GU. As Jonathan Williams gets the break. 8 on the shot clock. Isaiah Johnson now. Going at Karnowski. Now he turns into the middle, spins. Double move, shot away, and he gets the roll. Just nice.
He's so patient on his catches. Late in the clock, gets it with about 8 seconds. Doesn't panic. Doesn't take the initial jump shot. Gets to his spot. Great finish.
Karnowski. Boy, his feet look quick today. Got it back. Matthews into the corner. They're really guarding Matthews. They know how quick he gets it off as Tilly misses the 3. And Ivey with the rebound. And back comes Akron with a chance to take the lead. Cheatham with a size advantage here on Williams-Goss, and he goes right at him. Bounced off, and Karnowski clears it.
And Gonzaga dodged a bullet there. Not recognizing a big is backing down Nigel Williams-Goss.
Matthews. Quick release, too long. But Cheatham already having an impact on the boards for Akron. That was his 4th rebound.
He gets about 2 a game, Greg, coming into tonight. He's known as a skilled big guy. He shoots a lot of threes, nearly 40% on the year, but does an excellent job on the offensive glass.
Here's a deep three by Cheatham. And Johnson with the rebound. And a new clock for the Akron Zips. Johnson won't even give it up. He just backs in, kick out. Boy, the offense goes through him for Akron. Left hand away, it falls off. And right now, Gonzaga making them work for every shot. Tilly, look at the blue jerseys around him, though. And Killian stays physical, and a foul called on Isaiah Johnson. And that is his second, and that is a big foul this early in this first half.
That's a difficult one for Coach Dan Broughton, the Zips. Giving you so much of an inside presence. You don't want to pick up your second foul midway through this first half with a chippy.
And Keith Dambrot talking it over with the official right now as Perkins with the inbound. Zach Collins into the game for GU. He's got the ball right now. He lost the handle. And it's grabbed out of the air by Ivy. And Akron back on offense.
So let's see how the Zips attack this GU defense. Now with Johnson out with the 2 fouls, where does the offense come from? They don't have that interior presence.
This is number 21, Michael Hughes. 3 on the shot clock now. And Williams is going to have to fire it over Collins and almost hit it. Silas Melson on the floor for GU. He's got the ball right now. Tough pass for Collins to handle, but he's bailed out with the foul. 11:54 to play first half. Gonzaga with the ball and up by a point when we come back. And welcome back. Time now for tonight's Arby's trivia question. Who led the Zags in scoring the last time Akron and Gonzaga met? You may already know this. Dan gave it away earlier. Nice job, Dan. Was it Fargo, Heitfeld, Day, or Micah Downs? Oh, look at those names, huh? Fargo, Heitfeld, Day, Downs. That was a good team.
That was a real good team.
Text your answer to 27297.
Dan ruins it again, Greg.
I apologize. I do that a lot. Man, you talk about good names. Josh Heitfeld in town recovering from knee surgery, but those other 3 guys are playing professionally. Pargo in China, Micah Downs over in Europe. Austin Day, as well, over in Istanbul.
And now a foul is called, and this will be number 4 on Akron. And the first foul called on number 14, Noah Robotham.
It's been a well-played game. Only 5 fouls collectively here with 8 minutes gone.
There's Melson, open 3 from near the top. And he bangs it through, and Gonzaga had been on a field goal drought for nearly 5 minutes before that hit.
You love to see that. Shooting 25% on the season coming in. He's really worked his butt off in the offseason. The coaching staff thinks he's improved, but his numbers haven't shown it up until this point this season.
He knocked down 2 big ones against the Huskies on Wednesday. He's a better shooter than his percentage indicates, that's for sure.
Perkins picks up the loose ball and has it poked away by Robotham. And it's out of bounds off the Zips. Gonzaga basketball. The evolution of Josh Perkins. You're starting to get the sense now how important he's going to be for the next 2.5 years for Gonzaga. He is turning into a real player, isn't he, Dan?
I think the main thing he's doing, he's figuring out the ability of himself to shoot the ball as Nigel Williams-Goss hits a nice floater in the lane. But when Josh Perkins is aggressive looking to shoot the ball from the 3-point line, as well as getting in the paint and score, it creates opportunities for others because it creates so much attention from the defense.
And he's really shooting it well from behind that arc this season, over 50%.
Yeah, almost 53. What I think's been impressive is last year he tried to set his offense up with the pass. This year his scoring is really what's setting up those passes. As you see, the big-time dunk inside for Akron.
Michael Hughes was set up beautifully by Jackson.
I really like the guards on this Akron team. Little undersized, but that's typically what you're going to get from a team in the MAC.
Oh, Killian Tilly, right down the heart of that Zips defense.
And talking to Coach Dan Brott before the game, he really loves the makeup of this backcourt. Feels that his guys are skilled enough, talented enough to play at a Big Ten type level, but their size helped them to be overlooked, which is why a lot of these guys are here with Akron.
Josh Williams with Melson there. And now Robotham has the basketball with 7 on the shot clock. Deep 3 is long. Melson got a finger on it. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Akron basketball.
These are late, long threes late in the clock. Not traditionally good shots, but for Akron, I mean, this game is being played at their pace. 10 minutes gone, 15-9. And you see here for GU, last season they held teams to under 30%. That's carried over this year. That was a big question mark coming into this season, was would this group be as dynamic defensively as Perkins comes up with another steal?
And Akron has missed their last 7 attempts from behind the arc. Here's Williams-Goss. And now Jonathan Williams drives, right hand fell off. And rebounded by Emmanuel Olajupoki. And back comes Akron. Here's Robotham. Jackson has it poked away by Perkins. Josh can't finish, but look at Nelson trailing high, and the slam.
I'm not sure that wasn't a pass, Greg. I'm not sure that wasn't a pass.
Well, Perkins did the right thing and attacked the rim and at least tried to get the ball up on the rim. Whether it was a pass or a shot, doesn't matter. Nelson cleaning up the mess. Heck of a finish.
Ivy now right at Williams. Cheatham with the rebound. Left hand is good. And Akron with the answer. Back to within 6.
Look, Gonzaga's got to get this rebounding problem situated in a hurry. That's another offensive rebound, another second chance bucket for the Zips.
Oh, Cheatham thought he only hit ball on that block by Collins, but the official says no. He got the hand, and that'll be foul number 1 on Cheatham, 5 on Akron. And here's our play of the game brought to you by Rockwood Health System. The steal by Josh Perkins. Great patience here. Threw it to the rim, and Nelson cleans it up. Rockwood Health System, Deaconess Hospital, Valley Hospital, and Rockwood Clinic working together for you.
Now, I need some clarification, Greg.
That wasn't a pass.
Thank you.
What?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. Either way.
It was beautiful.
Richard over here is so focused on the fact these two big guys have been going at it all night.
Hey, Colorado guy, I got to take care of my own.
Well, Richard, you may be right because the stats broadcast gives it an assist.
When Brock Salzman just pointed that out, they gave an assist on that play to Perkins.
What? You guys are making me doubt myself. Great pass from Perkins.
Very generous with the assist button there.
That was off the glove by the shortstop, and it keeps the no-hitter alive. And Johnson earning a trip to the free throw line. You guys don't get the analogy.
I was so enthralled with the matchup inside, Greg. I confess I didn't hear what you had to say.
It's okay. It's probably better that way. Foul called on Shemek Karnowski. That's his first 2 team fouls on GU. And Johnson at the line, just a 60% free throw shooter, though. So this his weakness, like it is Shim's.
Yeah, and you see that a lot with the traditional 5s as he misses the second one as well. As good as they are around the rim with great touch, when you put them on the free throw line, for whatever reason, it can be a struggle.
Williams-Goss spins. And Williams now with it. And the offensive foul called on Williams, who set that screen on Cheatham. So Jonathan picks up number 2. That's 3 against Gonzaga. We go to break with this beauty steal. And here's the pass is right.
Rebound, put back dunk. Silas Melson zags. Leading it early, 18-11. We'll be back.
Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Rockwood Health System. Rockwood Health System is committed to quality, convenience, and expertise. And welcome back to Spokane, Washington, and the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 8, Gonzaga with a 7-point lead against the Akron Zips. And look where Akron is when you're talking about a national program. Akron now with 21 wins at least for the last 11 years.
How about this last year in NIT? Ohio State had to beat Akron to get to that 21 win mark and had to beat Akron in overtime. It's really remarkable what they've done down there in Akron, and really doesn't get enough credit on a national level. This is a very, very good mid-major program. They've been at the 8 tournament conference championships, only won 3 times, or you'd see them a lot more often in the NCAA tournament.
Here's Johnson, spins on Karnowski, but Shemek right there defensively. Still a horse down there for GU. Johnson again, though, moves him out of the way, but missed the shot and a foul called on Akron.
We cheat him inside on the offensive rebound, Greg.
That's a big foul on Cheatham.
Yeah, it is, but it's a good break if you're an Akron fan, because if that was Johnson's third, that would have been a devastating blow for them to keep this close going into halftime.
You know, Karnowski needs to keep his feet on the floor. He's fallen for some of those ball fakes. He's got to force Johnson to shoot over his body.
Tilly, long, Ivy the rebound. This Akron team actually won the regular season title last year in the MAC. Lost to Buffalo in the tournament, or else they would have been in the NCAA tournament. And that league, a lot like the West Coast Conference, oftentimes only gets one in. You got to win the tournament to get the automatic
they've had
berth.
their heart broken 5 times now over the last 13 years. And I think too often the emphasis is entirely put onto the NCAA tournament, and programs like Akron don't get the respect that they ought to.
Point is, it was an NCAA tournament team.
Absolutely. You win 26 games. And look, this is a team that played Creighton 2 games ago and took them down the last 4 or 5 minutes. This team is not intimidated tonight. We've seen that here on the score as Shemek misses the hook inside.
Akron has turned the ball over 4 times in their last 10 possessions. So Keith Dambrot looking for a solid possession here as Jackson goes right to the rim and missed it. Williams-Goss with the rebound. He's on the move. Matthews fakes the 3. This is a 3, short. Melson again, the rebound. Poked out of there and grabbed by Jackson of Akron. Boy, Silas Melson doing a great job crashing. 6:20 to play first half. And what is lining up right now to be a low-scoring game.
This is in Akron's wheelhouse. Long possessions offensively. They're really active defensively. Looks like Tilly gets called for the bump as Cheatham goes to the rim.
And that'll be number 1 on Killian. 4 team fouls on GU. 6:08 to play first half. Williams-Goss goes out, and Josh Perkins replaces him.
Well, you got to give Akron a lot of credit, because defensively, they're making life difficult. Gonzaga's only shooting 35% from the field tonight after shooting 49% for the first 9 games of the season.
And there's an air ball. And, of course, the fans will let Johnson know about that.
And that is not in Johnson's wheelhouse.
No. He's not hit a 3 this year.
No.
Well, there's an old saying in pro basketball, college basketball even, do what you do best. That young man needs to be on that left block, putting dribble back down pressure on guys, because he's been hard to handle early in tonight's game.
Nelson under 10 on the shot clock. Silas drives, stumbled, shot away, no good. And Johnson clears it. And this is number 11, Tavian Dunn-Martin, a freshman out of West Virginia. Huntington on the floor. Jackson, the long rebound. And this kid can shoot it. 46% from behind that arc. He misses there.
Well, you're dodging bullets left and right. Akron now 0 for 10 from the three-point line on the night. 0 for 9. And you were making 11 per game coming into tonight's game.
Exactly. You said at the top, this is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They can't buy a bucket right now from behind the three-point line.
Cheatham spins, poked away by Karnowski again. Perkins now. And again, Akron with great transition defense there. Matthews drives, left hand blocked by Cheatham, and back comes Ivy for Akron. He's got Dunmartin on the near side wing. Ivy to the rim, and the finish through Karnowski.
This Akron team is not backing down, even though they've struggled shooting the ball from the perimeter. They are still attacking, whether off dribble penetration or whether it's putting the ball in Johnson's hands on the block. Talking to Coach Dan Brott earlier today before the game, he wanted to see how this team came in and performed under this atmosphere. Richard, you mentioned a minute ago going to Creighton and playing a game and having a chance to win the game. He felt that this is a much better preparation for them as they get into their conference play and as they hopefully get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament, simply for the fact that the crowd in the kennel is right on top of you, where the Creighton Arena in Omaha is a little bit more like an NBA arena, a little bit spacier. He was really excited to see how his team was going to react. So far, they're down 5. You would think he's got to like where they're at, considering they're 0 for 9 from the three-point line.
And you can see what Gonzaga's done here the last 4 games in the first half. The scoring average, dominating opponents offensively, defensively, holding teams below 22%, and really moving the ball. The percentage of field goals made versus assists is awfully high for Gonzaga, particularly in the first half.
Tilley with a nice catch. Can he finish? That rolls off. And again, it'll be Akron Zip basketball. Michael Hughes with that rebound, and Gonzaga now has not scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes, and they're 4 of their last 15 from the floor. Loose ball grab by Perkins, bodies everywhere. The intensity is very high in this game. Important for both programs. Gonzaga trying to remain unbeaten, get to 10-0 for the first time since 1958, and Akron trying to sew up a win that would look great on the resume. On the road, Perkins. Tilley, open 3. Bang!
Second 3 of the night for Killian Tilley. 8th on the season. That's something that I don't think the staff really expected out of him as a freshman. I thought, talking to them, they were expecting about a 16, 17-foot range. His ability to extend the defense just gives them one more weapon.
Hughes sets the screen. Dunmartin throws it into the corner. And Ivy now going to work on Matthews. 4 on the shot clock. I'm not sure Ivy sees it. And the carry is called. So that's a turnover for Akron. And that is number 6. Perkins to Killian Tilley. And that might get the offense going. Gonzaga leading Akron by 8. Back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Akron with just 13 points. Shooting 24% from the floor, but as you can tell, they only trail Gonzaga by 8. Here's your answer to tonight's Arby's trivia question. Who led the Zags in scoring the last time Akron and Gonzaga met in the NCAA tournament? Round 1, 09, and it was Josh Heitfeld. 22 points, added 8 rebounds as the Zags beat the Zips 77-64. And Gonzaga went on to reach the Sweet 16 that year.
Here in the first half, you're struggling from the field if you're Akron. A big reason why they're in the game is they've been able to defend without fouling. Only 4 free throws attempted for the Bulldogs as Gonzaga turns it over again on the post entry into Williams-Goss.
4th turnover of this half for Gonzaga. Under 3 to play first half.
Gonzaga makes it so hard to defend them without fouling. They get to the line so effectively here in the first half. Nothing easy.
Here's Cheatham. Right at Collins. Throws up a wild one. And cleared by Tilley. Both teams struggling offensively as Williams-Goss misses. Oh, well, that clipped the rim. And now the long loose ball picked up by Ivy, and he's fouled by Williams-Goss, and Nigel doesn't like that call, but that's his first 5 on GU.
He doesn't like that call, but I think it was the right call. But if you go back to the other end, Nigel Williams-Goss was not on balance as he shot that 3-point shot. He's a guy that is a good shooter when his feet are set and he's on balance. That time, leaning back to a little fading away from the basket.
Yeah, he takes the right 3. It's a good look for Gonzaga, but when he rushes it or not on balance, like you said, Dan, he can struggle. This is a nice right-hand jump hook from the freshman Hughes inside. And these are bonus minutes and bonus points for Akron. Hughes doesn't get a lot of run, but tonight, given Gonzaga's size, they knew he'd have to play, and he's done a nice job.
J3 jump shot is off. And now Akron can cut into this 6-point lead now for GU.
Well,
with a minute 50 to play first half.
You were curious to see how Gonzaga would react after the emotional win against UW the other night. I think that has a little bit to do with it, but I think Akron is a very well-coached, very good team. That has even more to do with it tonight with GU's struggles on the offensive end.
Juan Cheatham with the size advantage over Williams-Goss, but missed the shot, and Jonathan Williams with the rebound.
Cheatham's gotten good looks, but now 1 of 6 has really struggled to finish around the rim as Perkins draws the foul and 2 free throws. Back to your point, Dan, Akron, it's not just that they're well coached, they're so organized on both ends. They nearly every time down the floor they get into some sort of offensive action. Defensively, they're always on a string. Excellent away from the ball. You can really tell a lot about a team's defensive ability, not on the ball necessarily, but what they do away from the ball on the weak side. This Akron team is very disciplined.
Perkins drops in the front end. That foul was called on number 1, Josh Williams of Akron. His first, that's 7 now on the zip. So GU into the bonus for the final minute 25 seconds of this half. Perkins with his first point of the game with that free throw.
Yeah, but he's done a nice job. 3 steals, a couple assists.
And he gets the bounce. And it's back to an 8-point advantage for GU.
Important last 80 seconds here for Akron. You can't allow Gonzaga to get a couple of these easy buckets to finish the half. You're in striking distance here if you can keep it close going into the last 20 minutes.
And what's odd, a very physical first half has only resulted in 10 free throws combined by both these teams. Jackson falling back, missed it short. The other Jackson with the rebound and the finish. That's Aaron Jackson out of Gahanna, Ohio.
Second chance points, another 2 for Akron. That's now 9. That's definitely going to be addressed here at halftime.
Hughes really being physical with Karnowski. Shem now backing in, double team comes. Shem missed everything. Matthews got it. Hughes with the block and the steal. And now Noah Robotham goes to work. Under 30 to play first half. 6-point game.
Gonzaga has a foul to give if they want to give it.
Hughes sets the screen. Jackson fires the 3 long. Poked around. And Williams-Goss had it, picked up by Perkins. 4 on the clock. Williams-Goss, the fake, fires off the rim, and that'll do it. 23-17, our score at the half. An unlikely score, gentlemen. 6-point advantage for GU, but very low scoring. 2 very good offensive teams.
Oh, low scoring without a doubt, and the reason why is both teams have been very good defensively, forcing each team to shoot well below their season average field goal percentage-wise. But Gonzaga has got to do a much better job keeping Akron off the offensive glass and limiting second chance points.
And we go now to assistant coach Brian Michelson. And I know, Coach, you guys have been preaching to the players all week that this is going to be a very tough game. It's been very physical, and this Akron team is obviously very well coached, aren't they?
Yeah, we knew that coming in. We knew this was as good a team as we've played here at home this year. And their ability to rebound, I think, has bothered us a little bit. And their physicality, especially how well they're defending, really has. And we got to focus on the positives, and that's that we played a great defensive half.
Brian, Isaiah Johnson has given you guys a load of trouble on that left block on the interior. You're going to look to double him a little bit more. I know with Shemmick, you typically don't have to, but you want to keep Shemmick out of foul trouble, I would imagine.
Yeah, we do, but we got to mix it up, too, because, they average 11 made threes a game. It's one of the top in the country, so if you help in, they got you spaced with 4 shooters, so you got to mix it up on him.
Hey, Brian, you give up the offensive rebounds, excellent. First shot defense. You're not finishing the defensive possessions as well as you'd like. How do you correct that here at halftime for the next 20 minutes?
Obviously we drilled it this week in practice, but we got to figure it out now, and we just got to be tougher, and all 5 guys got to get in there. We can't be leaking out because the amount of offensive rebound putbacks we're giving up is killing us.
Coach Michelson, thank you for your time.
Thank you, fellas.
He's good.
Real good.
He's good. Gonzaga leading by 6.
It's a good get for Mark.
Yes, he is. Well, Akron with a +5 on the rebound margin. You don't see that very often in a long time around Zagville. 6-point lead, though, as we go. And what an entertaining first half it was. Oh, that dunk by Silas Melson. We'll be remembering that one all season long. And Cy with the big 3. 23-17 our score. Halftime straight ahead. Number 8, Gonzaga, 23. The Akron Zips, 17. As we begin the second half, Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, and Richard Fox. Gonzaga, one of their last 13 field goals. They missed their last 8 inside of 3.
That's not a good percentage, Greg.
I tell you, this the education paid off.
Thank you.
Well, it'll be Akron Zip basketball to get us going here, and you can tell when that team went to the locker room at the end of the first half, they're confident. They know this game right now is in reach. Cheatham, here's Johnson at the free throw line. Spins on Karnowski, and now the reset, and he's got it again. Bangs in, left hand away short. Got it back, and he's fouled. And Johnson will go to the free throw line, and is this on Karnowski?
I don't think I have.
It is on Shem. That's his second.
In Shemik's 5 years here at Gonzaga, I cannot remember a player ever backing him down. Can you, Richard?
No, I mean, both kids are listed at like 300, 290. I think that's probably a little generous. I mean, these are some big guys on the low block. And what's impressive about Johnson is I think Karnowski's initial defense has actually been pretty good and solid, but Johnson's got such a soft touch, and he knows when he's missed the shot, he's right back up looking to get the offensive rebound. That's really hard to rebound against, to defend against.
And there you see the numbers. Akron doing a great job on the offensive boards. And we've got a 5-point game. Gonzaga with their first possession offensively in the second half. Josh Perkins, pick and roll to Williams, dives in and scores.
Great job on the jump stop from Williams to avoid contact, create separation. But much better offensive possession there by Gonzaga. Get the ball side to side, get movement.
Robotham with the basketball. Perkins trying to guard the much larger Quan Cheatham. Nice move too hard. Karnowski clears it. Perkins now on the run. Up to Williams-Goss. Nice catch. Back to Williams. And the two-handed flush.
Well, you get a point-blank look inside. Cheatham has really struggled tonight. 1 of 7. Averages nearly 9 a game coming into tonight. You miss the bunny inside. You give up the transition dunk. Got to make those shots if you're Akron.
Gonzaga now with their largest lead of this game at 9, and Johnson trying to find leverage against Karnowski. Jackson open in the corner for 3, and there's the three-point shot. Akron can really dial it in.
Great basketball. You see the patience from Johnson, why he's such a gifted passer. He baited the double from Nigel Williams-Goss and got the 3.
And Karnowski, pin number 3 on Quan Cheatham.
Getting out in transition, throw ahead pass, and then Nigel Williams-Goss. A great no-look feed to Jonathan Williams, but you got to give Jonathan Williams credit right there. Running the floor as a big when nothing looks like it's an absolute bucket. Run the floor, you get rewarded with an easy 2.
Karnowski now 2 of 3 from the line. Make it 3 of 4, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and it's an 8-point lead.
The last possession, Richard alluded to the fact that Johnson did such a great job of baiting the defense. That's the first made 3 for Akron. Let's see if that gets them going from beyond the stripe.
And that's the first time Gonzaga's looked to double down on Johnson as well. They give up the 3 when they do it.
Robotham's mid-range jumper is off. Williams-Goss on the move, got it to Perkins, and Josh lost it out of bounds, but it must have touched Johnson because it remains with GU. From this angle, it looked like Josh bounced it off his foot. Yeah, evidently, it may have been Johnson's foot. Nobody seemed to argue. Matthews with the ball to Shem. Karnowski didn't even square his body that time. Threw it up there without looking at the rim.
He was in between a pass and a little jump hook there. That time got caught. Ended up being not a good-looking attempt.
Antono Jackson, number 55. This half, Johnson spending a little more time outside the paint, gentlemen. Bounce pass. Ivy will go to the free throw line. Great cut there by Jamon Ivy.
I mean, great cut by Jamon Ivy, but Richard and I just gave each other a look like, wow, that big fella right there, Isaiah Johnson, has a high IQ and the ability to see the floor. That right there is not a pass that you normally see from a 6'10 guy.
And I like the change of pace here for Akron. If you move Johnson out to the perimeter, he's not a great shooter, but with his passing ability, he's going to occupy Karnowski enough where you take away some of that rim protection that he provides Gonzaga.
And that'll bring Zach Collins into the game as Karnowski goes out. Ivy now with 3 points and 5 rebounds.
And look for Akron to get Johnson back on the low block. Whether it be Collins or Williams, neither has the strength or the size that Karnowski does. Let's see if the Zips can find an advantage on the low block.
And Karnowski goes out with 3 personal fouls, so that's a big foul early. 16:50 to play. Collins, nice feed from Williams-Goss.
Exactly what you want to do on this end of the floor, though. Put Isaiah Johnson in pick and rolls and have Zach Collins dive quickly to the rim. That time, Williams-Goss with a great finish. Collins with the finish off the pass.
People forget there's 2 ends of the floor here. Johnson so dominant offensively. Sometimes the best defense is to force that guy to have to defend on his defensive end. And right there, you know Johnson's going to struggle in the pick and roll.
Created contact, missed the shot, loose ball, and it's grabbed by Matthews. Gonzaga went to halftime hitting just one of their final 13 shots of that half. And right away, they've hit 3 of their first 4 shots now, 3 of 5, as Collins misses from deep.
Coach Few's got a look on his face right there. We don't need that shot. We can get that at any point, at any time. Collins has been slow to get going tonight, as Isaiah Johnson has a nice move over the top of Collins. But that's one of the areas where Collins will learn as a freshman. Let the game come to you a little bit.
And there's the travel. So that's a turnover by GU. That is their 6th of this game.
Well, Greg, the big dog continues to feast here in the second half. The nice spin move off Collins. Hey, we got a 6-point game. We'll be back after the break.
It was a 6-point game at half. It remains that with 15:44 to play. Here's your Alaska Airlines upcoming schedule. And enjoy low fares to amazing places, connecting Spokane to over 100 destinations, including Costa Rica and New York City. Book now at alaskaair.com. Tennessee, South Dakota, and then league play starts on the 29th of December.
It does, Greg. December 29th, Pepperdine, you got Pacific, New Year's Eve. I believe we have both those games.
And so, Richard, you said that the first 4 minutes of this half would be key for both. We would know if this was going to remain close and low scoring. Well, and lo and behold, it remains at 6 points.
Well, particularly from Akron's perspective, you want to make sure that you continue to stay within striking distance, particularly given the way you can shoot the 3-point ball. And often when you're on the road trying to pull off the upset, it's those first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half where the game can get away from you.
Perkins got away with a foul there as Dunn Martin missed the shot. And now Cheatham for 3, and it's a 3-point game at 31-28.
Hey, shoots about 40% from 3. He's been struggling tonight, 1 of 7 before that field goal, that 3-point shot. If he can get going for Akron, he provides them a lot of versatility offensively, can really stretch the floor for them beyond the 3-point line.
Williams-Goss, Collins, Cheatham tied him up, and possession arrow favors Akron. And gentlemen, in the last 2 games, Gonzaga's opponents, that would be Washington and Akron, have scored 35 second-chance points. Gonzaga just 11.
Oh, it just goes down to blocking out and then chasing down the rebound. Gonzaga has been slow to react, in my opinion, to a lot of balls in this first and early part of the second half tonight.
And Williams-Goss will go to the free throw line. Akron on a 7-2 run right now, and they've pulled to within 3. And Williams-Goss at the line with 4 points. Gentlemen, Akron has already hit their first 2 attempts from behind 3.
Hey.
At some point in time, Jordan Matthews is going to get it going. He's 0 for 2 for the game, but yet to take one this half.
Yeah, Jordan's really struggled the last 7 games. He's shooting under 30% from 3.
He hits them in bunches, though,
Yeah,
right?
he's hit some timely threes over those 7 games, but he's a much better three-point shooter than that. He's shooting a career low right now. It'd be a huge lift for Gonzaga if he could get going.
This game's still very physical. A lot of bodies create contact through that paint. Dunn Martin weaving his way, shoots over Collins, way off. Hughes with the rebound, and he's blocked from behind by Williams.
Good hustle from Williams. He's out at the three-point line, sees the miss, gets it back into the play.
Williams Goss drives, tough fight to the basket, and he draws free throws again.
He had tunnel vision on that play. He had one thing on his mind and one thing only, and that was get himself into the paint and create some foul pressure. But what you see here on that last rebound is Gonzaga gang rebound. Finally, all guys going to the glass. When you do that, when you keep Akron off the offensive glass, you can get out in transition and start to play it more the pace that you want.
The best rebounding teams, whether it be at Gonzaga or anywhere, the backcourt is often the difference maker. How do your guards rebound on the defensive end? Given the size Gonzaga has up front, I think too often is Nigel hits the second free throw. Too often, because of the length and size inside for Gonzaga, I think the Zags backcourt often just watches the defensive rebound. Outside of Melson, really nobody else competes on the defensive glass. They've got to change that.
That last foul on Jamond Ivey, his first team's 3rd. Johnson and Jonathan Williams banging around as Johnson hit Perkins with the screen. Loose ball blocked by Williams. Shot clock goes off. It'll be Gonzaga ball, but they'll have to inbound it.
But you've got to give Jonathan Williams a ton of credit. You see on the replay, he was in that play, but his work came early on that possession. Did a great job defensively, pushing Johnson out away from the sweet spot, but did it with his lower body, with his hips, as opposed to his hands, where the refs could call for a foul.
I mean, you force guys like Johnson and Karnowski to catch it outside of their comfort zone. They've got to use an extra dribble or two. That opens up an opportunity for your help side to come in, and we saw it right there with Perkins. Good hands.
Killian Tilly. Johnson pokes it away for Akron. And this is number 14, Noah Robotham with the basketball. Into the corner. Ivey drives the baseline. Johnson drives, scores, and a chance for 3.
Nice pass from Ivey. Good recognition. Collins comes over. He knows he's a shot blocker, and Williams Goss is late. Just pokes his hand in there. Doesn't have a real play on the ball.
Late is right. He's out of position late and then commits the cardinal sin.
And Johnson, our first player into double figures now. With that 3-point play, he has 11 points. And we got a 4-point game with about 13 minutes to play. Williams Goss drives, blocked by, who was that? Johnson. It was Ivey. Robotham for 3 in transition. No good. Loose ball. Run down. Williams Goss tried to knock it off of Ivey and does.
Check that. I think that's good.
Actually, it is Akron's ball.
It's going to stay
so it's
with
off
Akron.
of Williams Goss, yes.
How about this, boys? Got a game.
Gonzaga not playing with the fluidity on the offensive end that you saw in particular in that first half against UW, where they shot 64%. Akron keeping them out of any type of flow.
Their transition defense, you said it, Dan, has been tremendous.
Ivey drive blocked by Collins out of bounds. 16 on the shot clock is number 55, Antono Jackson, out of Houston, Texas, checking in for Akron.
As great as that block is, as he continues to grow and evolve as a player, he will quickly recognize and see that he's got a teammate who can corral that block shot and keep it in play.
Tilly pokes it away from Johnson. Williams Goss to Melson. Jackson banged into him. Silas got the shot off and now will shoot free throws. And even Coach Few out on the floor to give Silas a little skin that time.
Well, getting to know Coach Few, obviously, as a player, and now in our role we have as broadcasters and seeing him in a different light, he would rather be in games like this than 40-point blowouts, because he is a competitor at heart. He wants to see each of these guys bring 100% effort each time out.
Well, you learn a lot more about your team,
without a doubt.
You didn't learn a lot against Washington, but you're going to learn a lot tonight about this team.
Melson 1 of 2, and it'll be Akron basketball. It appeared that Tilly knocked that ball off of Aaron Jackson, but not the case, says the officials. Akron basketball down by 5, 12:29 to play. And Gonzaga now heating up from the free throw line. 7 of their last 9 points coming from the stripe. Botham, nice catch. Into the corner, three-point shot on the way is long. And Perkins with the rebound. Williams-Goss, guarded by Aaron Jackson. Collins, huge size advantage here. Nice move.
And good recognition from Williams-Goss. He had the mismatch outside, but Johnson guarding him on the ball. He let Collins get to his position and dumped it off inside of the freshman. That's good basketball.
Zach Collins with 5 points. Johnson almost threw it away. Nice catch by Anthony Jackson, who drives into the paint. Jackson into the corner. Three-point shot up and good by number 14, Noah Robotham.
37% on the year for his career.
And Nelson at the other end, transition dunk, and it pushes it back to 6.
And that's the type of pace that Gonzaga wants to play at, whether it's off a rebound and push or a made basket. Get that ball up the floor as quickly as possible. Melson, the recipient of the throw-ahead with the dunk. Gonzaga in Akron in a tight one.
6-point game at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 8, Gonzaga with a 40-34 lead against Akron. Around the top 10 this week, Villanova. Notre Dame good, though.
Good.
Number 23, but
Mike Bray does a great job there. But as we go on down the list, I tell you what, UCLA, they've always been talented, but they've always been missing something over the last few years. Lonzo Ball is that missing piece. If you haven't had a chance to see him play, oh my gosh, he can pass it.
It's like watching Jason Kidd 40 years ago.
You're exactly right.
Cal. Seriously.
Jason Kidd with size, athleticism, but he shoots it better than Kidd did in college. Even though it has a little bit of a funky release, that kid is something special.
How he isn't the top point guard prospect, I don't know. I mean, he's ready to run the team right now at that level.
I would agree.
Nice catch. And he stepped on the end line. No, foul called on Karnowski.
I believe that's on Perkins.
It is on Perkins. Luckily not on Karnowski. That would have been his 4th. It's the first on Josh, and that is 4 team fouls on GU. Anthony Jackson over Melson. That's way off. Williams-Goss and Ivy battle, and it's off of Nigel, so it's Akron basketball. 21 seconds on the shot clock.
Not a good shot by Anthony Jackson there. A little stare down, jab step 3, but they catch the break when the ball goes off Williams-Goss.
There's Johnson at the elbow. 6 on the shot clock for Ivy. That shot long. And again, another offensive rebound for Akron, and a foul called on Silas Melson.
Second offensive rebound for Aaron Jackson. He has been a huge lift off the bench defensively with the 2 offensive rebounds. And it's those small plays for Akron that keep you in the game here in the second half.
I think one of the signs of a great coach is guys know their role. You just see this Akron team, and each of them seem to know their role and do it extremely well.
Jamon Ivy hits the 3, and it cuts it to a 3-point game. Williams-Goss with the basketball to Karnowski. Shem goes to work on Johnson. Shot away and good. There's the answer.
That is the answer. I think Gonzaga needs to go to the well right now as many times as possible. Put Isaiah Johnson in foul positions, and you do that by going to Shem and Karnowski on the low block.
Karnowski now 10 points, 5 rebounds. There's another 3 up and good. Josh Williams this time. It's a 2-point game.
I told you they could get hot. 11 made threes per game on the season. Now 5 here just in the second half.
And we have a foul called on Akron.
And they just teed up Johnson as well.
They did. It's Josh Williams, I believe, that they... No, it is Johnson, isn't it?
Yeah, so
I couldn't tell who was protecting who from the official there.
rather than 3 fouls now, Johnson's picked up his 4th. He said something to the official.
And Keith Dimbrot reminding his player that that's your 4th personal now, which means he's got to come out of the game at a crucial moment. Akron is now as close as they've been since this game was at 6-5. And Nigel Williams-Goss now at the free throw line to shoot the tee.
And that's just a silly foul from Johnson. You know, he's trying to be physical and beat Karnowski to the spot. But right there, he just drops his shoulder. That's a cheap shot. The official's right there on top of it, and then he argues with it. Just a silly play there from a really talented kid.
Johnson will be replaced by Michael Hughes, a freshman out of Liberty, Missouri. He had some big moments in the latter part of that first half for Akron, brought him a lot of energy. So they lose a lot with Johnson, but it's not like there's a huge fall off when they bring Hughes in.
Yeah, but Hughes, he's only played 10 minutes a game. He played 9 minutes there in the first half. You said it, Greg. He's been a nice lift. Let's see if he can carry it for Akron here with Johnson on the bench.
Karnowski calling for the basketball. Williams driving to the rim, lost the ball out of bounds, and it's Akron basketball with 9:18 to play.
But the ball got stripped from behind, Greg, and went out of bounds off Williams' knee.
And guys, Akron doing a much better job on the boards than Gonzaga. They now have a +10 rebounding margin. You just don't see that very often against a Gonzaga team of any year during this run. Ivy had it slip through his hands, and then Antono Jackson called for the foul, and I believe Ivy may have been poked in the eye.
Akron would like to have that possession back.
Smart foul, though, from Jackson. You see Gonzaga's getting out in transition. Commit the foul there on your side of the floor and get yourself back on defense, but Ivy just took his eye off the ball. He was ready to shoot that 3, and the ball slipped through his hands.
17 fouls on Akron, so Gonzaga now into the bonus for the final 9 minutes of this game. That could be key. Karnowski at the elbow. Melson cuts through. Hand off to Silas Melson. Good defense by Akron. They got the answers, don't they? Matthews lost the handle. He looked to shoot the 3, drives, hangs, misses, but will shoot free throws. And I believe that's a foul on Cheatham. And if it is, that'll be his 4th.
That looked like he went up. Talk about the rule of verticality. Let's take a look here. He comes from the weak side. I don't know about that, Dan.
Well, these new rules are seemingly enforced differently game by game. That one, it seemed to me, because Cheatham twisted his body as he went straight up, that's where the foul would come. I think that's the correct call, even though it's a difficult one for the Zips to take.
And Jordan Matthews just put in his first point of the game. 8:33 to play.
0-4 from the field. He's taking a couple 3-point shots.
Hits them both, extends the Gonzaga lead back to 5.
Let's see if that can get him going a bit from the field. You know this, Dan, as a shooter, sometimes all it takes is a layup, a couple free throws. It opens things up on the offensive end.
We've seen him get hot in a hurry a couple times this season, in particular against UW, hit 2 quick threes in that big 27-6 run the other night.
Here's Hughes. Karnowski gave away some space. The turnaround and the tip back by Ivy is good. 3-point game.
It's starting to sound like a broken record. Offensive rebounds, second chance points.
and Hughes running the floor to deny that inside pass to Karnowski.
Great hustle. He misses the shot, still gets back, makes a play in transition. Ivy now with 7 rebounds. Great rebounder for a guard, averages 5 on the year.
Matthews open 3, that's short, and he gets the bounce. That's a fortuitous bounce. Gonzaga's lead is at 6.
Fortuitous it is. Richard with the foreshadowing. A free throw opportunity gets you going. Jordan Matthews with the friendly bounce.
Jackson to Hughes. Hughes had to bend over to keep it alive. Got it out to his guard. And this is Josh Williams driving. Kick out. Jackson will fire the 3.
He got fouled.
And he did get fouled, and that's not Jackson. That's Jamond Ivy. I can't see into the corner. It's going to be an interesting final 7 minutes and 27 seconds in Spokane. Gonzaga's lead is at 6. Matthews with the great bounce, soft touch. Tonight's Smiles of the Game are brought to you by Delta Dental. A healthy smile is a powerful thing. Find the easiest way to take care of yours at deltadentalwashington.com with tips and tools to keep you and your smile strong. All season long, Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of healthy smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. 48-42 our score with 7:27 to play.
And how long can Akron go without Johnson on the floor? You know, they're a little quicker to the ball. They can switch more defensively with these on the bench, but offensively they can go stretches, struggling to score as Ivy misses the first free throw here.
Yeah, Ivy with 9 points now, 2 of 3 from the line. Short on that one as well. And Keith Dambrot can only chuckle. You know, when the game is this low scoring, these free throws are almost double.
Yeah, they mean a lot.
1 of 3 for Ivy. And they are back to within 5. Josh Perkins with the basketball. And Akron 6 of 12 from the free throw line in this game. Hughes really active defensively for Akron. Here's Perkins.
He's a lot better in the ball screen than Johnson, and we've seen that since he's been out here on the floor.
Karnowski left-hand jump hook. Nice soft touch. And that's Shem with 12.
And that's where Hughes is going to struggle versus Johnson. He's a freshman, doesn't have the same strength and size yet of Johnson. That's just an easier look for Karnowski on that right block.
He's got a big caboose. You see the potential down the road.
Absolutely. For freshman, he's got a lot to work with.
Jackson, boy, lost the handle going through. Nice save to Williams. Back to Jackson. Way off. Williams lost it out of bounds. It'll be Akron basketball. And the shot clock obviously did not reset because that ball did not touch rim. So Akron with 8 seconds to get a shot off.
Johnson back in the game. Yep.
Back into the game for Akron. So Keith Dambrot saying right now it's now or never. Yeah. Both he and Cheatham with 4 fouls into the game.
And I like this. Look, you're playing to win. You know, these are 2 seniors. They ought to know how to play with fouls, and we'll find out.
Johnson, it's like a blocking sled when he hits Karnowski. And Shemek with the block, and now Matthews with the basketball. Williams, he's hit a few threes this year. Jonathan drives, got it to Karnowski, shot away. No good, point blank. Rebounded by Noah Robotham. Six minutes to play. Cheatham to Johnson. Boy, look at this duel between the 2 big bodies. Johnson shot up, but he traveled. And you can tell right now that Isaiah Johnson, guys, is starting to wear down. He's getting frustrated.
I don't think he's used to playing against anyone his size, let alone somebody bigger than him, as is Shemek Karnowski.
And I think he's a little too preoccupied about getting his shot blocked. I mean, his initial move is really productive. Just go up, find a spot on the glass. Be less concerned about getting the shot blocked.
Robotham pokes it away from Perkins. Jackson with it, but a foul called on Gonzaga. The obvious thing to me about Isaiah Johnson, His moves now to score are not as quick as they were in that first half. Tells me he's getting tired. His hands are always on his knees.
Well, he plays about 25 minutes a night. And Dan, you said he doesn't typically play against a guy who's his equal as far as size, strength. So you have the added element of the fact that he's having to compete a lot more physically. And this is an intense ball game.
And Akron right now not getting it done at the free throw line. That could end up costing them. Williams-Goss. Boy, Akron just clogging that middle up. There was no way to get the pass in there. Williams with the catch and the finish.
And that's one reason that makes this Gonzaga team so difficult to guard is Jonathan Williams, for the most part, has been quiet tonight. That's a big play down the stretch of a game. You don't know where Gonzaga is going to be going on any particular given night.
Cheatham, deep three. In and out. Johnson had it. Matthews with it for GU. Gonzaga with a 9-point lead. Get it to double figures here with points. Williams-Goss drives. Beautiful finish.
Keep coming. Try to turn the corner off that pick and roll. Bigs don't want to keep guarding you. Taking the rack for the finish. Nigel Williams-Goss with the big play.
Gonzaga on a 9-1 run. They've opened up an 11-point lead. 4:38 to play. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card only at Numerica.
Well, boys, let's take a look here how things have kind of opened up for Gonzaga on that last offensive possession pseudo break. Let's stop it here. Josh Perkins shooting 53% from three. This is a good look for him. He turns down a good shot, hoping to get a better shot. Let's roll it. Here, nothing opens up. Nice probe. Let's stop it right there. Let's see where Johnson is. You're going to see Karnowski on the right side of your screen come set the ball screen. Johnson's out of position. Let's stop it. Johnson ought to be right here to hedge on Nigel Williams-Goss's drive. He's out of position. This opens up the drive. Let's roll it. And that, my friends, is good basketball. Perkins turns down a good shot. He flips the offense to the other side of the floor, and Nigel Williams-Goss knows what to do with the big Shemek-Karnowski ball screen.
4:30 to play. Thank you, Richard.
Anytime, Greg.
Johnson out to Cheatham from the elbow. Too hard. Ivy crashes the board, but lost the handle on the way down. He wanted a foul.
A lot of contact.
And didn't get it.
Dambrot is up in arms on the sideline. I think he's got a point. Come on, Ivy skying for that board.
How about the effort, though, from Ivy? 10.7 rebounds. It's been all over the glass, really helping out the Zips on the backboards.
The Zags 10 of 13 from the floor this half. Conversely, Akron has had 25 shots. They've hit 8. And Josh Perkins extending this Zag lead now to 14.
Quiet all night. First bucket couldn't come at a more timely spot. Perkins for three.
Perkins rolling around on the floor. And they call the foul on Akron away from the ball. 3:33 to play in Spokane. Keith Dambrot upset. His team trails by 14. Gonzaga up by 14 with 3:33 to play. Quan Cheatham picked up his fifth personal foul. He's out right before the break. And then during the break, Keith Dambrot picked up the second personal foul for Akron in this game. Johnson picked up the technical foul earlier. I said, technical foul. So now this is going to extend this lead with 3:33 to play. But I think Keith Dambrot had a point on a couple of those non-calls or calls.
Well, I think he was frustrated with the Ivy. Ivy had the offensive rebound, got bumped, lost it, no foul. And I think he was upset with the back screen that was called against Cheatham. But look, this has been a physical game. The officials have let a lot go on to the benefit of both teams, quite frankly.
So Matthews at the free throw line.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Well, this is the last, the second to last play here. Ivy, that's a clear foul on Karnowski. No whistle, and that's really what started it.
Coach Dambrot just shakes his head. His team has played valiantly this entire game, but they now trail by 16.
Yeah, and, hey, when you're on the road against a top 10 team in a place like the Kennel, you can get away from you in a hurry, but the score is not indicative, as you alluded to, Greg, to how well the Zips have played.
With 8:07 to play, it was a 45-42 game. 5 minutes later, it's 59-43. And Karnowski now extending it 61-43 to score.
That was the quickest best post move he's made tonight, in my opinion. He's been playing the back down game throughout tonight. That time, quick decision on the drop step.
Isaiah Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Robotham calling for help. Drives, shot away, no good. Poked by Matthews. Out of bounds. It'll be Akron basketball. This Akron team, 16 of 57 from the floor in the first half, 28%. Not much better in the second half, 8 of 26, 31%.
I'm not sure if the officials here might be discussing whether or not the ball touched the rim. The shot clock was reset to 30. Mark Few is asking them to review that. Let's take a look here. You see the layup going up. It looks like a clean block before the ball gets to the backboard from Williams, and the ball doesn't touch the rim.
But then they've got to determine how many seconds are on the clock. .246 to play.
You see the clock on the bottom left of your screen. And from that view, it doesn't look like it hits the rim either.
So it's going to have 1 or 2 seconds on the shot clock. Jeff Ambrod's not going to be happy about this either.
I'd love for our wonderful producer, Chauncey Jones, to give us a second look at that with the view that has the shot clock in the bottom left corner so we can see what it might be.
It actually hits the protective padding on the bottom of the glass.
But that would not reset the shot clock in any way.
Right. But because there's a human over there resetting the clock.
That's called human error.
You know, Richard's just got this innate ability to kind of bring it full circle.
I'm trying to simplify.
Bring it all the way back around and just clearly state the obvious.
In my contract, it says, bring it all together. Bring it all the way back around.
I wonder what it says in Greg's.
Easy now.
Hey, they just said that it hit the rim.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, boy. Jackson for 3. That's off. Karnowski clears it. Shem with his 7th rebound of the game to go along with 14 points. Williams-Goss. Karnowski fell down. 3 on the shot clock. Williams' shot for 3 is off. Johnson with one arm pushes Karnowski out of the way. Grabs the ball with the other one. Josh Williams working his way around off the glass. Oh, good. Karnowski tipped it to himself. Shimmick with 8 rebounds now.
You got to give this Akron ball club a lot of credit. There is no quitting this team. This team has a lot of promise as they head into conference play in the MAC, and I look to them to be a tough out in the NCAA tournament for whoever they face if they do make the tournament.
Well, Dan, it's time to announce our Subway sub of the game, and that's going to be Silas Nelson. Treat yourself to Subway's new corned beef or turkey Reuben subs today. These subs with sauerkraut, Swiss, and Thousand Island dressing are amazing. They're all on rye bread, and they're here only for a limited time at Subway. Don't miss it, Dan. Don't miss it.
Dan obviously hasn't missed many of those.
Like a good Subway.
Brian Albert. Yeah, we've got number 22, Jeremy Jones, into the game for Gonzaga. We haven't seen him play coming off that high ankle sprain.
He's in a tough spot. Obviously, Gonzaga seemingly settled in on an 8-man rotation. Showed a lot of promise last season in a redshirt year as well as over the summer workouts. Got great length, three-point shooter. They like his versatility on the defensive end.
Okay.
Jeremy. Knocked hard. Picks up the first personal. That's his first.
Well, you like the effort there. First minutes of the season. Try to get yourself in position to take a charge. Gonzaga always has guys like Jeremy Jones willing to do the little things. One that comes to mind is Kyle Bankhead. Kyle Bankhead actually has a connection to this Akron program. Coaches at a school in Kansas, Sunrise Prep, who actually has a kid who's committed to play for Akron in the Zips next season with Coach Dambrot.
Is Kyle watching?
He may.
Hachimura missed the three. Here's Dunn Martin throwing the lob, but missing the ball was Emmanuel Olajudoke. Jones has it swatted by Michael Hughes, but Jeremy's got a lot of explosion in his game. And you guys talked about it's going to be hard for him to work his way into this lineup, but this is a player that Mark Few was very excited about when he decided to come to GU. Look at Silas. Man, he's got some hops.
Like a pogo stick.
Hachimura's jump shot off the front of the rim. And Jackson with the rebound. And Akron going to fall to 7 and 3. Collins up high for the rebound, and that's going to do it. Our final score is 61-43. Gonzaga, for the first time since 1958, off to a 10-0 start as Coach Few and Coach Dambrot great at half court. You got a feeling that maybe we'll see this series again. Gonzaga, Akron. Like, what coach? These two guys have got to love this matchup.
Oh, it's a great non-conference game. I think a lot of people, if you're a Gonzaga fan, looked at the schedule and said, oh, well, Akron, that's an easy win. If you follow college basketball, you knew that this was going to be a heck of a game. Coach Dambrot is one of the better coaches at the mid-major level in college basketball. He had his team prepared to win, just couldn't quite knock down enough threes in that first half to keep it close. But they definitely helped prepare Gonzaga as they continue to head into league play soon.
Shemek Karnowski leads him with 14 points. Williams Goss with 11. Gonzaga wins at 61-43. We'll take a timeout. We've got a live interview with the player of the game when we come back. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 8, Gonzaga now 10-0 on the season since the first time since 1958. 61-43, the final over Akron. We go live now to Richard Fox, who's got our player of the game, Mr. Shemek Karnowski.
Hi, sir. Thank you. Shem, first off, let's talk about Johnson, that matchup inside tonight. That had to have been a lot of fun. You told me before we got on camera you're a little tired, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired, but it was a good challenge. There's not a lot of guys in college basketball like him. So, I was glad to play against someone like that. It was something new, try to play one-on-one. We had a couple backup plans, but the one-on-one was kind of working. So, I'm happy I tried to contain him as much as I could,
Hey, talk about this week. Arizona, Washington, and now a very, very good Akron team that maybe doesn't get enough credit. What does this week mean for you guys? What did you take from it?
I think from just this win, we didn't play that well in the first half. We stuck together, we kept moving the ball in offense in the second half. I thought that started working for us, and I'm glad we got the push in the second half of the second half.
So you got finals this week, got some time off. Walk me through the second half here of December. You've got Tennessee coming up in a week, and then you get right into league play. What's the mentality now after 10 games?
I mean, we're not not satisfied. You know, we need to get better, especially, you know, rebounding. You know, we need to get better at that for sure. That's probably what we're gonna practice this week. You know, big game at Tennessee, then South Dakota, then we start conference plays. You know, and then we'll see how it goes. January, February goes fast.
All right, get an ice bath. Good to see you. Thanks for the time, bud.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Greg.
Oh, an ice bath. That sounds cold. Well, you want to be tested in these games, right? When you set the schedule up in, you know, last summer, early fall, you're setting it up, trying to fill all these dates. And I think this coaching staff for Gonzaga got exactly out of this Akron game that they had hoped to get out of.
Without a doubt. I think if you look at Gonzaga and how they built their schedule, figuring that, okay, you go to the Advocare Invitational, you hope to get a couple resume building wins. They did that in Florida. They did that with the Iowa State victory. Arizona is always a resume building win. Washington, even though they're down, it can be viewed as that because it's a Pac-12 school. But this game, I believe, is going to be another resume building win because Akron is going to be a very good team in the MAC this year. I expect them to make the NCAA tournament, and I wouldn't honestly be surprised if they won a game.
As we take a look at the game summary, this was a very close game for most of it. At halftime, just 6 points. Neither team really able to find the bucket in that first half. It loosened up for Gonzaga some offensively in the second half. It didn't for Akron, even though they dominated the boards. Gonzaga runs away with it when it's done.
Well, the first key to the game tonight for me was defend the three-pointer. Akron coming into the game is top 10 in the country in three-pointers made. They average 11 made threes per game. They forced Akron 0 for 11 in the first half. Akron ends up getting a little bit hot at times in the second half, but ending up with only 5 made threes, well below their average. Gonzaga's got to clean up the offensive glass. That's obvious to anybody watching tonight's game. But you know what? You love the stick-to-itiveness, to steal a word from Coach Few, in how they ended the game on a 19-3 run.
Yeah, and holding Akron to just 5 makes from behind the arc. Besides Johnson, that's the strike. They had that great 1-2 punch. Shem did a great job on Johnson, and they defended the three well.
They did, and they knew that that was going to be the game plan. Akron was going to go to the block on that left block early and often to Johnson. They were going to let Shemek play one-on-one, and for the most part, did a fabulous job and made other guys try to beat them. Well, I tell you what, those other Akron players did not beat the Zags tonight. Zags come out with another commanding performance.
And ladies and gentlemen, history made here tonight at the McCarthy Athletic Center. For the first time since 1958, the Zags of Gonzaga are a perfect 10-0. Happy holidays for Richard Fox, Dan Dicka, and the rest of our crew. I'm Greg Heister saying good night from the McCarthy Athletic Center. 61-43 our final.